likely now to try and do some things during normal 9 to 5 business hours without the fear of being down for the rest of the day if something goes haywire. So.
Yeah, say on backup, real quick, the good news is you can do it the old way. You can just continue to do your backups the way you're doing physical, or there's a lot of new options. The one thing I would really strongly suggest to do, if anybody's looking at a new backup tool, no matter what company it's from, always be looking at something that has data deduplication built in. Data deduplication is the new way of doing backup, more efficient way. Data is increasing at about a 50% clip across the world. And if you're not doing data deduplication, you're spending way too much money on storage for your backups, whether they're tape or disk, and you're also spending a lot more time than you need. You don't need to back up the same Windows DLL 50 times across your environment. Let data deduplication back up once, and then you just get the changes. You can do deduplication at the source of your backup or the target. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but any backup product you're looking at that doesn't have data deduplication in it, you're really doing things the old way.
We have a question back here, John?
Absolutely. My name is John Catelli from Eureka, and gentlemen, thank you for your time this morning. This has been something that I've been considering for our organization. Now, what is the measuring stick from a company that's been running their own physical servers for years and pulling the switch and then going to virtualization? Is it a standpoint of, I know how much we're paying on a monthly basis, but when we switch over to virtualization, obviously there's cost, planning, and deployment strategies that go into that. What is that measuring stick? At what point do I say, okay, virtualization is potentially something good for my company from a cost savings and scalability aspect?
Again, there's a big it depends. Really what I would recommend that you do is to do an assessment. And there are a number of companies out there that do that. We provide it for our customers. We're not a professional services organization, but there are a number of companies that will come in and do a virtualization assessment. Right, EMC does it. You can, and what you get out of that is basically a pretty detailed report about what servers are candidates for virtualization, how many you think you can consolidate, and it gives you some really solid numbers that you can start to build a financial model around. And then you can sort of, obviously, you'd have to do your own ROI on that, but at least you'll have the data for that. That's probably the place that I would start. And again, that's not a service that we sell, but there are plenty of folks out there who do that. I will say that there are very few businesses that I'm saying this fairly generically, which I don't typically do, but there are very few businesses, if you've got more than one server, that can't benefit from some level of virtualization. The question is, how much and how far down that road you go.
There's a pretty good ROI calculator as well on VMware's website, for example. If you're looking at VMware, just go to VMware.com. Just do a search on the main site for ROI calculator. You can plug in all different statistics and it'll come up with all your cost savings. It's a very quick swag, but it's usually fairly accurate.
We have time for one more question, folks.
I wanted to ask quickly on emergency setup, how it will work for a national disaster or the weather. How would virtual servers work?
Let me jump in here real quick. That's an excellent question, and we actually have a number of customers that use virtualization strictly for disaster recovery. They have a traditional physical environment. They may or may not be running some level of virtualization in their production environment, but they're looking to have a disaster recovery plan. They can't really afford, nor does it make any sense, to build a complete duplicate of their production environment. So companies are looking to virtualization to provide a cost-effective DR solution. As Richard was saying, you can spin up a VM in a matter of minutes. So it's very simple to take the images that VMware uses or that Hyper-V uses and copy those to another site that you can crank it very quickly. But there are also tools available to do that with physical servers. So you can take images from physical servers on a daily, weekly, monthly, whatever, depending on your environment, basis, and then get those off-site that you can then it spin up very quickly on a VM, again, I'm using VM generically here, on a virtualized infrastructure to recover those servers. The biggest key there is how do you get all of the data that's changing on a daily basis to that new spot, wherever that winds up. And so you've got to make sure you're either backing up your data and getting it off-site, whether it's through Recall or Iron Mountain or whomever, or you're replicating that data to another site so that you can get the systems recovered with the data. It doesn't do you any good to get your server spun up if you have no data.
Okay, well, let's thank our panelists for coming out this morning.
Okay, well, thank you again, and I would also like to thank our panelists, and thank you, Matt, for a great, very educational program. We do try to, again, bring you guys some information about things that are going on from business leaders in the community and help you learn from their experience. I would like to also thank Gwinnett Tech for the use of this facility. We threw them some curveballs this morning, so the technical difficulty was on my fault, so I apologize for that, but I appreciate it. I think it went very well anyway, so thank you very much. We also have a drawing for a lunch at the 1818 Club. They are one of our sponsors, and they always give us a free lunch, and today it goes to Alan Uman with Sago Networks. So Alan, I'll go ahead and give you this. Thank you very much. Folks, have a great afternoon. We are next month going to be discussing how healthcare could be reformed by technology. So that'll be a great event. We're going to do that in conjunction with the Gwinnett Healthcare Council. So we should get a great crowd in for that, and some really high-level speakers as well. So again, thank you to our panelists. Thank you.